success meets psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever.
Welcome traders to another success story at FundingPips. So you will meet us here every Wednesday now at 6 p.m. Dubai time instead of 5 p.m. Dubai time. So you can come and see us straight after the Trading TV live stream. Today we are blessed to have another trader in our Dubai headquarters. Rohit, welcome.
Thanks, Paulina.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And I want to guys tell you something about Rohit. He's a resilient trader and he's going to tell us about his journey, about his mindset, about his trading strategy. And I have little news. If you are early on your journey, you can make it. Rohit has only been trading for 2 years and he already has achieved a great level of rewards at FundingPips, over 10,000 in rewards. Now, I cannot wait for Rohit to tell his story. He's a gold trader. He's mainly trading on 1 minute, I believe.
1 minute, 5 minute, and 15
1 minute,
max.
Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we are going to talk about mindset because his great mindset has brought him to this point where early on his journey, he was able to achieve what he has achieved this far. And guys, we have great news. We are giving away 250K two-step pro accounts. We are going to tell you further in our conversation how you can enter, and we will announce the winners in a blog. Last week's winners are also in a blog that has been posted yesterday. At first, we did not post it, but now it's updated. So you can find out or go to the last week's video to see who is the winner. Anyway, Rohit, over to you. Where did it all start?
So my trading journey basically started 2 years back. So before that, I was doing job. I quit my job after 1.5 years, and then I entered into real estate business. Unfortunately, that didn't go well. Then I entered into trading. I entered into trading with Indian markets, and like every other person, I entered. When I entered into trading, I purchased few courses, I purchased few mentorships, and then I lost a lot of money in courses and mentorships. And then what people do after once they come to know about trading, they firstly spend their money in courses, then they spend their money in mentorship, and then what they do, they spend their money in signals. So they think that courses didn't work out, now mentorship didn't work out, now let's put in the money into signals, because they have seen all the signal provider driving Lamborghinis and showing their payouts and all those things, basically showing their rewards and all those things. And my journey started like that as well. I was then entered into signals. I lost a lot of money in Indian market. Then I realized this thing that courses and signal won't work. In the end, you have to put in the work. You have to spend the time on charts. You have to spend the time working on yourself, building the discipline, learning about the market which you are trading, learning about yourself, like what kind of person you are. Like if you are a person who is not able to hold the trade for 5 hours, and if you try to do swing trading, you won't be able to become a successful trader in the market.
Absolutely.
Like I am the trader, I won't be able to hold the trade for 2 hours also. And if I look for someone who do swing trading, I won't be able to become a successful trader, because his trading style is different and the person he is different. But I am a different kind of person. I am not that patient. I want something which I can do based on my style and based on what I can do. So from there, I realized this thing that courses won't work out, signals won't work out. Then I spent 3 or 4 months in the Indian market by the time I started my social media to document my journey. But again, I was losing money, continuously losing money in the Indian market. Somehow I came to know about prop firms through social media only.
Yeah.
And again, you must have seen, there are so many people who say that they have a They got lucky in the beginning. That never happened with me. When I enter into anything, it was majority of the time it was always disaster. Like I
Mm.
lost the money in courses, then signals, and then when I entered into prop firms, I breached around 12 or 15 accounts. Then I finally passed one account. When I passed that one account, unfortunately that prop firm vanished. And then uh, after that I passed one FundingPips account, and then I got my first payout from FundingPips after I guess spending around 3 or 4 months into failing Profum account, and then finally passing it. And then after 3 or 4 months, I got my first payout. It was a very small payout of $300, but like after losing for such a long time, I finally got a taste of
Yeah.
winning from trading, winning. Even in the beginning, that small amount looks like very big, because it it builds a belief in yourself that yes, it is possible. Prop firms pay you out, and you can make money through trading, you can make money through prop firms. And also it is one of the prop firm is basically one of the best way to trade forex in India, because it is the legal way to trade forex. Like in
Mm.
India, it is illegal to trade forex if you deposit the money in the broker and do all those things, but prop firm is the legal way. And uh, finally I get the taste of the first payout, and then from there the journey begins.
Beautiful. I mean, so you've given us a really great overview, and I think a lot of traders can resonate with that. I think majority did go through the journey of, well,
Yeah.
of course, first is the courses, and we
Yeah.
try to absorb as much information as we can. We come across either good mentors or maybe not so good mentors. That's also fine. Some of the traders are lucky to get amazing mentors from the start. The signals, sometimes the signals come before mentors or even before courses. People try, and then there is a lot of hurdles for us as traders, even
Yeah.
before we get to the stages of purchasing challenges, etc. There is a bumpy journey, because it's just what we have to go through, perhaps, as traders. I don't know. But you found out quite early on. I know traders who are on their journey for 4 years, 5 years, and they still have not found profitability. You, being 2 years into your journey, experienced all of those things. You already had received over $10,000 at Funding Pips.
Yeah.
So tell me, at what point did that profitability turn in your favor? Was it after a year and a half? When did that happen? And importantly, how did it happen? Because you talked about mindset, you talk about putting the work on the charts and really being focused. So take us through that.
Okay, so like I was always a person who was trying to do 10 different things.
Mm.
Like from my school time, I was doing 10 different things. Then when I was in college, I was doing 10 different things. Again, when I was in job, I was doing 10 different courses to get a better job. Then when I quit my job, I was looking for 10 different things. That is the reason why my real estate business also didn't work out. Then I realized this one thing, that now I have to focus on one single thing. I have read a lot of books. Like when I left my job, I have read a lot of books. I have gone through a lot of podcasts and all those videos on the internet, on YouTube. And trust me, all these things definitely have a great impact on your mind.
Yeah.
When you read these books, when you read
Yeah.
this YouTube videos, it has a great impact on your mind. And yeah, so I realized this thing, that from the very beginning I was doing one mistake. That is, I was focusing on 10 different things at the same time, and that was the reason I was not able to focus on one particular thing. So when I entered into trading, I was only focusing on trading, nothing else. When I entered into the Indian market, I made a mistake. I made the mistake of purchasing the course and not focusing and then after purchasing the course, then I purchase the signals. And then uh, uh, when I faced the losses in both the things, then I did everything on my own. And but that time I realized this one thing, that I have to focus on one thing. So I have written this thing in my journal, that I have plan A, which is trading,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have any plan B, C, or D. But in the very bottom, I have written this one thing: there is plan B as well, there is plan C as well, and there is plan D as well. And all three plans, B, C, D, is also trading.
Okay.
So there is no other thing which I'm gonna do until I become a profitable trader.
Amazing.
So it might take 1 year, it might take 2 year, and maybe it might take 3 years, maybe I lose a lot of money, but in the end, like if I lose a lot of money and if I lose everything, I still have two hands, I still have two legs, I still have ears, mouth, and eyes to again start everything from complete zero.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. I started like I focused on just one single thing, and I think that was the reason I was able to make it in the trading in
And
just 2 years.
I think that is a key message for today, and it's really, thank you for sharing that, because you can do anything but not everything at the
Yes,
same
exactly.
time, and that is sometimes the mistake us traders make. People, just in general too, we think that if we focus on so many different things, we are going to progress faster. Absolutely not. Focus
Yes.
on one thing,
Yeah.
1% at the time, one step at the time, even on trading journey, if you focused on just habits, just patience, that is better than
Right.
you having your focus scattered all over the place, because that becomes unorganized and we don't stick to that plan. So I'm really glad that you kind of went through that journey, because I believe the journey you went through previously with your real estate business, with other areas, brought you to the point where you decided and saw, actually, that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
How am I expecting different results by doing the same things? So here in trading, I need to just really focus in. And when you started focusing, so I can see one thing, you worked on your mindset.
Yeah.
So you said YouTube videos, books,
Books.
etc. And this is traders why I want to say something important. The reason why you see a lot of repetition in information given to you is because it works. Because
Yeah.
that information actually works. Working on your trading psychology, on mindset, on your habits, on focus, on patience, all of those things actually matter. What was the key thing that you struggled with? So we already know that you were not focused on one particular thing. But in
Yeah.
terms of trading, were you over risking? Were you impatient? What was the main problem that you were facing?
Like initially I was trying to make money fast, and because of that I put my money into signals. And initially I was trying to make money so fast when I entered into prop firm as well, but once I quit Indian market and once I entered into prop firms and forex market, I was very impatient, and that was the reason I want to make money very fast. That was the reason in the very beginning I breached 12 or 15 account before I passed one single
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
So from there on also I realized this one thing, that I am a kind of person who is very impatient. And from there I also realized this one thing, that I won't be able to become a good swing trader. And from there also I from being an intraday trader, I shifted to scalping only. And
Beautiful. I love that. I tell you why. Because that's enough said. I tell you why. Very often traders are so focused on the things they're not good at.
yeah,
And they sometimes miss the part of the things they're good at. Often it's all right to push aside things you're not very good at and start focusing solely on the things that you can flourish in.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, if you were forcing yourself repeatedly to become a swing trader or even a day trader, because you said, I can't even hold a trade for 2 hours,
Yeah.
if you forced yourself to do that, you could have the best strategy, the best mentors, but if your personality does not match that style, why force it?
Yeah, that is the thing. Like majority of the time the mentor is also good. Like it is not that the mentor is not good, but you are not the kind of person what that mentor is teaching you.
Exactly.
It is like if a cricketer goes to a footballer, he won't be able to
Absolutely.
teach him the football, or a footballer won't be able to teach him the cricket. Exactly. That is the
Absolutely.
same thing, because scalping, intraday and swing trading are completely three different things.
100%. And our CEO Khaled, the way he trades, he's a scalper.
Yeah.
And he says, I hold for 15 pips. And sometimes that may be a whole 15 minutes candle, sometimes less, in and out. And
Yeah.
then we have another trader who's a host in our success stories, Arnes. And he says, I try to spend in the market as little as possible. I'm in, I'm out, I'm gone. And then on to the next day.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out what works for you.
Exactly.
Like people who would now ask me, or what strategy do you trade? I wouldn't be able to tell you my strategy.
Yeah.
Something that's molded to me, to my habits, to my weaknesses, and to my strengths, and all of that.
Exactly.
Beautiful. But now I want to focus on the rewards, because you had turbulent journey, let's say. Okay. I also know that you were working very hard before you started trading, before you became consistent. You said 10 hours a day. Sometimes you were at work, working. Now, the reward hits your bank account. What's the impact of that? What's the feeling of that?
Like the first reward when it hit my bank, I spend that every single penny again into the prop firm, because at that time I just want to grow.
Yeah.
Like at that time my focus was just to grow and increase my funding and reach to a certain level where I'll be making just 1% of my total capital, and I'll be set for the month. Like people don't understand this one thing, and this is again very common thing which hundred of people say, but people still don't realize this, that 10% of a 100K account is $10,000,
Yes.
and a 1% of 1 million capital is $10,000.
Yes.
And forget about 100K account, people try to make $10,000 on a 10K account. That is when they messed up, and that is when all the things goes wrong.
Yeah.
So like my focus was to increase my funding, because like in the Indian market also, I realized this one thing, that capital is the main issue.
Yeah.
And I was struggling because of capital, because my capital is small and I'm trying to make big money
That's
with that.
significant to you, that's meaningful to
Yeah.
you, and that makes you want to overtrade because you need to trade.
Yeah.
That's why solution as challenges
Yes.
is a perfect exchange, right?
Yes. So
Yeah.
my first payout, and I guess like my starting 3 or 4 payouts, every single penny of starting 3 or 4 payouts goes into challenge to increase my funding, so that even 1 or 2% will be like sufficient for me, and I won't be very greedy if I make just 1 or 2%. And once I reach to a certain level, once I have a certain level of funding, then I start improving my lifestyle, I start traveling, I start giving my family a better lifestyle. Like earlier we used to travel once in a 2 or 3 year. Now we travel after every 40-45 days, and my family is also happy with that thing.
So the impact is not just you, is on the loved ones around you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about their influence on your trading journey? Because sometimes these conversations are important, because at the end of the day, us traders understand each other.
Yeah.
Everything that you're telling me about mentors, that you went through courses, signals, I get it. Like my journey was somewhat similar, but sometimes those people who support us, our family members, loved ones, etc., they may be most supportive, but they don't fully understand what it's like to be a trader, but they may be trying their best. What was it like for you?
Like my family obviously understand, and I never faced any issue, especially in my family, and I feel I am blessed with this thing, because majority of the people face this issue that their family member won't respect what they are doing. They think that trading is like gambling, and my son or my daughter is just gambling and doing nothing else, and they are just wasting our money, or they are wasting the money which they have earned through the business or through the job. But my family is very supportive in this thing, and I'm really blessed. And that is the reason, like after I reached to a certain level, after spending my first 3 or 4 payout money, I start giving them a better lifestyle, because in the beginning they were very supportive. Like I've never shared this thing on the social media, because everyone thinks that it is just nothing but the same story which every person is saying. But when I was breaching account, I was left with just 50,000 rupees, that too in my mutual funds. I withdraw that amount, and I passed just 1 or 2 challenges with that. And but I need some more amount to get more challenges, to again focus more on the performer and trading journey. And my family always supported me. My mother put her gold and gave me the money, but I've never shared this thing on the social media, because like I don't want to share all these things, and people think that this is nothing but the made up story. But yeah, my family is always supportive, and that is the reason why I try to give the best lifestyle and everything to them.
That's amazing. I'm honestly really touched, and I'm happy for you that you had that level of support, and that your mom, sold her gold, sold her belongings to support your journey. What that means is that she saw the belief that you had in you, in
Yeah.
yourself, on succeeding as a trader. Especially, you know, the story that you said, there's plan A, B, C, D, and all of it is trading.
Yeah.
He's gonna either work out or he doesn't. At the end, if he doesn't, I'm still healthy. I
Yeah.
can restart and do something new. But you know, I think it gets to that point for us as traders where we actually lock in our mind, and you said it has to work out.
That
It
is the
does.
thing.
Because when you say that to yourself, you become aware to your mistakes, why you are losing, because it's not the market's fault. It's
Yes.
nobody's fault but your own, you know. So that at that point, I believe you were ready to really face yourself.
Yeah. And when you focus on just one thing, then in the trading you'll have time to journal as well.
Yes.
Because if you're doing 10 things, then you'll be like, forget it, I won't be journaling. But if you journal, you'll understand this one thing, that okay, it is not the trading strategy because of which I'm losing money. It is not the technicals because of which I am breaching the accounts. It is something else. It is my greed because of which I breach the daily drawdown. There is a 10% drawdown, but I breach the account at 5% drawdown only.
Yeah.
There are so many other things. There is this risk management thing. There is this trading psychology. There is discipline, emotion control, and all these things make you a trader. Not just the technicals or the trading strategy.
Absolutely.
And I realized this one thing after journaling a lot of times and writing the same thing, that I am not making mistake based on trading strategy or on technicals, because I did basic simple price action. I never look for ICT and SMC, because in the beginning I was journaling.
Yeah.
And after journaling a lot of for a lot of time, I realized this thing, that no, it is from the very beginning, it is never the technicals. It is me. It is my fear. It is my greed. It is my poor risk management. It is my poor money management. It is my indiscipline, my indiscipline, which was there from last 7 or 8 years, which I was not focusing on. Now it is showing up in the trading as well. So all these things combining are the things which because of which I was losing accounts. So I realize all these things because I am journaling. And if I were if I was basically doing 10 different things, then I won't be able to focus. And if I won't be able to journal and focus on all those things and
Yeah.
all those mistakes which I was making.
Yeah. It's
So
beautiful. All of the things that you just listed out about the self-awareness about yourself, discipline, greed, psychology, is beautiful. I have like zero comment. It's just beautiful because it just showcases again what we said before, that you were ready to face yourself.
yeah,
To say, this is the problem and I'm ready to work on that problem. So
Yeah.
let's do it. Now, how do you feel trading changed you as a person? Because all of this work on yourself changes you as a person. You know, there is something I see about consistent traders. There's this one quality, somehow calmness, that we are able to face anything because
Yeah.
we've been through everything in the markets. By everything, I mean potentially every emotion that you can think about. You know, like I had some traders coming to me sometimes and saying and comparing it to grief, like as if they lost someone. That this level of frustration where they think, I just want to take time back. Why did I make that mistake and done it?
Right.
You know. So, how did you grow as a person?
Like, I was never disciplined. Like, from the initial days when I was in school, I was going like 90% of the time I was late in schools. Then the same story happened when I was in college, and then the same thing happened when I was in job. And these things and all these things, indiscipline and all these things compound itself. Like,
Yeah.
it is not only the money or the good thing which compound.
Yes.
All these things compound from
Yes.
last so many years when I was indisciplined. All these things compound, and like all these things show up in my trading. So I realized this thing, that all these things compound and all these things has a very negative impact on my trading. So I started focusing on the discipline. That I worked a lot on the discipline part. Obviously, like when I said this thing, that I was focusing on trading, and apart from that I was not focusing on any other thing. I was focusing on basically discipline on trading only, because I was was very disciplined in fitness, but I was not disciplined in other works.
Yeah.
But when I entered into trading, I become very disciplined in a lot of work. I was focusing on fitness, but not that much, because
Yep.
I was completely into trading. I was spending a lot of time on trading and all those things. But discipline is something which I focus on. And there was this one area in which I was disciplined earlier, which is fitness. But I realized this thing, that in all the areas of life, like sleeping at a particular time, waking
Yeah.
at a particular
Yeah.
time, if you have said this thing to yourself that you're gonna do this, then do this.
Yeah.
If you said that you're gonna read the book 30 minutes before you go to sleep, then do
Yeah.
that thing. If you have said this thing to yourself that uh, before market open, that you're gonna sit down and analyze the chart, you're gonna do that thing.
Yes.
And I have built all those things, like, and it is not possible. Like, there are traders who have spent 15, 20, 30 years in the market, and still they do things which leads to losses and all those things. And these things happen with me as well. But uh, discipline was the thing which I struggled with a lot in the past, and I worked on that particular thing.
And it's extremely important, because there's one thing you said now, which is when you say to yourself, I'm going to read the book for 30 minutes, stick to it. If I'm going to say I'm going to analyze the market, I know. You know why it's so important? Because that's you building a relationship with
Yeah.
yourself. That's you building self-trust with
Yes.
yourself. If you, let's say, breach your account in trading, or you break all of your rules, and then you say to yourself, please, I just need another account, and I promise I won't break those rules again. Why should you trust yourself? You never keep to your word.
Yeah.
When it comes to life, when it comes to discipline, when it comes to habits. So why do you think you're going to keep the word to yourself in the markets? Because the market is going to expose you, like you said. He exposed the compound of bad habits
Yeah.
over years,
Yes.
And I love that you are mentioning that, because still I sometimes feel like, of course, risk management is important. Of course, technicals are important. Fundamentals are important. But you cannot do anything with that knowledge if you don't work on yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's so important to convey that message to people.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about community, because trading can be a lonely journey. Okay, you had amazing support from your family members. It's beautiful. But at the end of the day, we sit alone in front of our laptops, computers, phones, and we go through all of those emotions. Did you find any support or friendships through, I don't know, FundingPips Discord or on social media? How did that work for you?
Yeah, like I've met a lot of good people through the FundingPips Discord as well, and I've met a lot of good people through my social media as well. And one of the guy who gave me the office tour, Avik, I find him on the FundingPips Discord only. And from that time, he became one of my good friend. And like, yeah, definitely the community is very important, and it is very important to be around good people, because in the end, you are a sum of 5 people you spend your most time with. And if you are doing something, you need to be around the people who are doing the same thing, because if they are doing something different, or if they have different mindset and you have a different mindset, but they are talking, the 5 people are talking about one thing, you'll start thinking like them, you start focusing on the things which they are focusing on. So community is important, but like, in which community you are is more important. Like, obviously, like maybe I can say that I have a lot of friends with whom, like, trading is a lonely journey, but I have a lot of friends with whom I can talk about trading. But if they are not a trader, and if they are not focusing on trading and all those things, then they won't be able to understand what I am saying, and they have a different mindset, and they are focusing on other things. So in whatever field you are, the community and the people around that particular field with the same mindset, or the people who have better mindset than yours, is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. There's this famous saying that if you are the smartest person in a room, you are in the wrong room.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And if you are ego driven, you will want to be the smartest person in a room.
Yeah.
But if you are growth driven, you don't want to be the smartest
Exactly.
person in the room.
Exactly.
What would be your advice to someone who just started on their trading journey and is considering to purchase an account at FundingPips?
Okay. So my first advice will be, you have to be very disciplined person if you're trading prop firms. You have to follow the rules, and you need to be a good risk manager first before you become a good technical analyst, because in the end, the most important part in the trading is psychology, risk management, your discipline, your emotion control. And I genuinely feel that technicals and strategy is just 10% of the trading. There are other important things which you need to focus on. And again, like I mentioned a lot of things, but one more thing is which I want to mention is journaling. Focus on journaling as well. That will improve you and that will make you a better trader. And why I say this thing, that technical and strategy is very small part of trading, because I've seen a lot of people who are focusing on learning strategy every other day. They are
Yeah.
they are having 20 different mentors. They are into 30, 40, 50 different Discord groups,
Yes.
and they are trying every single thing which is there instead of focusing on themselves. And I have genuinely seen people, like I trade basic simple price action and nothing else, and I've never uh, even searched for ICT and SMC and all those things. And I have genuinely seen people who has withdrawn over 400k 500k in payouts across prop firms, and they trade basic simple supply demand.
Yeah.
They just mark zones like on a 4-hour time frame or on a 1-hour time frame, and they trade on that simple basic thing. And I do the same thing. And after spending a lot of time on the charts, on journaling and all those things, I genuinely feel that technicals are a very small part of trading, and you need to focus more on risk management, on discipline, and managing your emotions, which is nothing but greed and fear. These are the most two major importance which you need to focus on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Now we're going to start taking questions. So, guys, you can start typing in your questions on YouTube, and I'm going to read out the questions. But before I start reading out your questions, guys, I have a last question for you. What would be one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self when you started the trading journey? Because perhaps we have a lot of people that are at this point. What is one thing to focus on?
I think I'll give the exact same advice which I just given you in the last question which you asked. I'll give the exact same advice. Don't waste your money on 20 different courses. Don't waste your money on signal groups. Focus on yourself. Read books, watch podcast, spend time on journaling, go to gym. I was not focusing on my health from past few months, but if I generally tell you, the reason I was not focusing on my health was because I was like, you can focus on either one thing, like either on the money or on the health. But when I came to Dubai, and when I was traveling in Dubai, I was like, there are people who are millionaires and billionaires, and they are like, they are pretty healthy and they are in a very good condition. Like they look pretty, they're amazing.
Something called a cycle of life, and this is where it's used in psychology, where all of us strive to score high on all of those areas, and that's what we should strive for, to feel being satisfied with our life. And that's family, friends, money, health, fitness. Like, there are so many different parts of it, and not one is more important than the other.
Yes,
we of course sometimes have to give in on one area in order to find the balance in other areas, but actually all of those things are important, because money alone is not going to give you satisfaction if the rest is not there.
I realize this thing now.
So it is those things. Now I have a lot of questions, and I'm going to read some of them out. One of the first ones is, what's your risk reward ratio?
earlier when I started trading, I was aiming for 1:3, 1:4 after watching all those YouTube videos and Instagram videos. Later on, I realized that being a trader, like if I talk about myself only, it's 1:1, because later on I realized that win rate is more important for me, because the more I win, the better will be my psychology. Because let's take a data of 100 trades. In 100 trades, if my win rate is just 35% and my risk reward is 1:3, in the end I'll be making money, but I'll be winning only 35% of the time. So in 100 trades, I'll be winning 35 trades. The 65 trades which I'll be losing, my mindset needs to be very strong to not do all those things which I can do and mess up and breach my account. So I realized this thing, that for me, 1:1 is pretty good if I focus on win rate. So I focused on win rate. I increased my win rate to a certain level that 1:1 is pretty good, and I can make decent
and
money.
again, it's personalized. It's what works for you, what you can cope with emotionally, psychologically, technically, and that's what you have applied. I love how you shifted
and
things.
I think like if someone is new to trading, I genuinely give him the advice to focus more on win rate, because once you become a profitable trader, then obviously you can modify the things out. Then once you develop your mindset, you can modify all these things. Then you can reduce your win rate but increase your risk reward, or you can focus both on your win rate, on your risk reward. But when you are new to trading, when you are looking for profitability, I think that win rate should be your main priority, because the more you win, the better will be your psychology.
Beautiful. Now, another question is, how do you handle moments of drawdown?
Like, I handle the drawdown, particularly I trade prop firms only. So how I handle drawdown, like I risk exactly same what I risk when I'm at the break even stage. And once my account goes in profit, I'll risk exactly same. And when my account goes in the drawdown phase, I risk the same percentage.
I did the same.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, the risk management meant to take care of my drawdowns and my equity caps. So I do exactly.
And there is one more thing, because let's take an example of a 100K account. If I'm risking 2% when my account is at break even, and I make 2% and my account goes up 2%, now I have $2,000 in profit, and again I risk 2% and I lost that account. My account comes to break even almost. But when my account is at break even, I risk 2% and it goes in a drawdown of 2%. And when I start risking 1%, it takes 2 trades to again bring it back to
it's
break
double
even.
The work,
Yeah.
Essentially. So just why adapt? I completely get that. Okay, now I have another question, which is, and that question comes up all the time: is trading meant to be boring, or should it be exciting?
No, I think it's not meant to be boring, because like there are a lot of swing traders which I know who are enjoying their trading life. And being a scalper, or you can say an intraday trader as well, I don't think trading is boring at all. It's how you look at it, basically. How you look at it, it's all matter. Like if you think it's a boring, and if you are not enjoying this particular thing, then definitely it's gonna be a boring thing. But if you are enjoying it, and if you are giving your everything, if you are putting in your heart, and then definitely trading is not something which is very boring.
It's the enjoyment of it. So even when we have now trading TV live streams of our FundingPips traders trading there, I love watching it or having it in the background. It's just traders talking about charts. I love it. You know, it's just, you feel like part of community, and just someone talking the same language as you know, using the same vocabulary. I love it as well. Now I have another interesting question, which is, what are the 3 rules that I should follow?
Okay, like based on what? For trading only?
Do you know what? And I picked that question on purpose. I don't think there are 3 magic rules that you can follow to become profitable.
Yeah, that is the reason why I asked. Like what that person is exactly
you cannot
asking.
You actually have to spend time maybe on 3 things: psychology, risk management, and technicals, and fit it around you. But there is no golden rule, 3 rules, 5 rules that you can apply to change anything other than the work on yourself. Right. Okay, I'm going to take more questions. So there's a lot about drawdown. We answered that. Someone is asking, how do you deal with losing streaks? Does it affect you the same way it used to affect you before, or now do you see it as part of your strategy?
Yeah, it was used to affect me before because as I told you, like earlier I used to focus on risk reward more, but I realized this thing after journaling and after sitting down that these things are affecting me. So I start focusing more on the win rate, and now my win rate increased to 80-85%. I know this thing that it's a game of probability and loss is gonna happen in the
Of
end.
course.
Now I just focus on this one thing, that I'll take 100 trades, and if my win rate is 80, I'm definitely gonna lose that 20 trades. So now all these things don't impact me a lot. Sometimes it obviously do, because
We are human,
we
yeah.
are human, and I've seen people who work in like big institutions which are in US and big institutions which are in Dubai. They are working in all these institutions, and they have like graduated from the biggest business schools in the world, and after spending a lot of time in all those things, they still make all those mistakes. And so we are humans, and I am into trading for last 2 years only, so
Yeah.
definitely I make all the mistakes, but yeah, like it didn't impact me a lot as of now.
Okay, that's fantastic. I have another question, which is really interesting. From your experience, how do you see manifestation? Does it work?
Manifestation work, law of attraction work, but it only work when you work.
When you put in the work.
When you put in the work.
Yeah.
If you say believe in yourself, believe in yourself, believe in yourself, it won't work. When you put in the work, when you have the proof that you have built something in the
Yes.
background, then it gonna work. But if you just chant in the morning, and then before going to bed you say that believe in yourself and I'm gonna uh, buy a BMW, then it won't gonna happen. You have to put in the work.
Absolutely. Thank you for answering that. I'm taking a last question, guys, and then we are going to tell you how to enter the giveaway so you can win one of the two 50K two-step pro accounts. The last question is, what advice would you give to a break-even trader where months have passed with no profit and no loss? What should a trader do? It feels like I am stuck in that phase for months. What needs to be changed?
My single advice won't change, won't have any impact on your trading, because there are a lot of things which works in the background. Maybe it's because of your win rate, maybe it's because of your risk reward. Maybe like I can give you the answer that focus more on win rate, but might be you are as of now focusing on win rate. So just one simple one line won't be enough to give me one answer to you. But in the end I can say this thing, that journal, sit down, journal, take a break, take pen and paper, because I think like pen and paper for journaling
There's
is the
magic,
best
yeah.
thing. And iPhones, iPad, all these things, I guess after some time you're gonna open Instagram, and then you're gonna scroll.
Yeah.
So better you take pen and paper and write what are the things because of which you are not profitable, and what are the things because of which you are at the break-even stage. Analyze the things and see on yourself, and then change whatever needs to be changed in order to make the profits. Maybe it was because of the win rate, maybe it was because of the poor risk reward, maybe it was because of the greed or fear, maybe it was because of your indiscipline.
Yeah, so it's about bringing that awareness to yourself, right?
Yeah.
To understand what it is. All right. Well, thank you so much for this
Thanks.
conversation. It was such a pleasure. Guys, in order for you to enter the chance to win two 50K challenge accounts, you have to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments under this video what did you like the most about this conversation. So after we finish this stream, you'll be able to go into the comment section, like, subscribe, and tell us what was your favorite part. We will select two winners, and in next Tuesday success story blog we are going to announce the winners. Now, Rohit, last words to traders.
Believe in yourself, believe in God, and that's all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's been a
Thanks.
pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Take care, traders.
Where success meets psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever. FundingPips. Built by traders for traders.